Hey guys, this is Mr. C, and in this video we're going to show you how to write some algebraic expressions. We're not going to solve any of them, I don't think. We're just going to write them. So let's take a look. We have write an algebraic expression to model the situation below. Almost all of these will start like this. And so here's this one. The price of a meal plus 15% tip for the meal. So we have to write an expression for that. So the first thing you need to do is come up with a variable. And so if you want to say the price of a meal, probably P would be the way to go. So we're going to let P and say B, the price of a meal. More often than not, it's okay if you just decide, well, I'm just going to use P. In upper level classes, they're going to want you to do this, and this is called defining your variables. And you're telling somebody what this variable stands for, especially if it doesn't begin with the first letter like this one does. And so sometimes you have to write this out to let the next person know what that variable actually is in your expression. And so when that happens, I'll always write this out if I need to, just so there's no confusion. If I don't need to write this out every time, then I won't. This time I'm going to, because I want to show you. So we're going to let P be the price of a meal. So we want the price of a meal, P, plus 15% tip for the meal. And so the 15% tip is 15% of the price. And so now when I write that down, I got to write down 0.15 because that's 15% of the price of the meal, P. This expression represents the price of the meal plus 15% tip. You could take these two terms and actually, since this is a 1P right here, you could actually add these together. 1P and another 0.15P, you could write that as 1.15P more compactly. Either one of these would be okay on the EOC to write. This one's preferred because it's one term instead of two, because I could simplify it a little bit. All right, but either one should give you credit for that. Okay, this one says, Alex purchased a 6-hour calling card and he has used T minutes of access time. All right, we should probably be careful with this. If you purchase a 6-hour calling card and we are in minutes here, how many minutes are in 6 hours? And so the number of minutes in 6 hours, you have to take 6 and multiply that by 60 and you get 360. So we're talking about 360 minutes. So he's already used T minutes of the access time. So you have to subtract that T that he's used from the amount that was originally on there. So an expression might be something like 360 minus T, and that would be it. All right, this example here says it costs $20 per hour to bowl and $3 for shoe rental. Okay, so let's just use H right here for hours. That makes sense, right? And so it costs $20 per hour, per is a rate, so 20 H. And that's the amount of money that you're going to spend for however many hours you bowl. And then you have a $3 shoe rental. We would call that a constant or a flat rate. This expression now, if you bowl 1 hour, it's going to cost you 20 plus 3, $23. If you bowl for 2 hours, 2 times 20 is 40, plus another 3 would be 43. So now you could actually take this expression and calculate how much money it's going to cost for so many hours of bowling. All right. Next example, let's do this. Jared earns 0.25 vacation days for every week that he has worked in a calendar year, and he also gets paid 10 paid company holidays per year. All right, so let's take a look. He gets 0.25 vacation days for every week that he has worked in a calendar year. All right, so, and he says he gets 10 paid company holidays per year. All right, so every week, that means that's a rate, right, for every week. So let's go 0.25 W, and let's let W be the number of weeks. So I'm putting arrow, number of weeks that he's worked. Okay, now he already gets 10 also, including those. So plus 10. Now that'll give me an expression to calculate how many days, vacation days he gets per year, right? For the number of weeks that he has. So if he works, let's say 4 weeks, then he'd get 4 times 0.25 is 1, he'd get 11 days. So that's a good expression for this one. Okay, this one, to convert dog years to human years, you count 10.5 dog years per human year for the first 2 human years, and then 4 dog years per human year for each human year thereafter. All right, this one's gonna be kind of interesting. So for the first 2 years, right, it's 10.5. So for the first 2 years, 10.5 times 2 gets us the number of dog years for the first 2 human years. We're gonna add that, and now after that is 4 dog years per human year. So 4 times, I gotta be careful. I don't wanna put t for the number of years right here, because this is after these original 2 years, right? So I've got to go 2 years into the future now. And so now to do that, I have to write t minus 2, like that. Now what that does is kind of backs me up for 2 years. So it kind of takes care of these 2 years here that are being added on. So t then would be the number of years. So why didn't I use y? Well, the reason why is because when you deal with time, usually, no matter what it is, what unit, you usually put a t there, okay? So we can simplify this a little bit. 10.5 times 2 is gonna be, what would that be? 10.5 times 2. So that would be 21. Okay, so we could say 21 plus 4t, and then minus 8 if we distribute, right? So what I'm doing now is I'm distributing this 4 to both of these guys. Okay, so then minus 8. So that 4t is fine, just like that, but 21 take away 8, these two like terms will give me 13. So 13 plus 4t is a good expression for that. And that's a lot cleaner than what we started with. So we always want to simplify it if we can. All right, so now we've got something a little different. So now Tracy buys tickets to a concert for herself and 2 friends. There's an 8% tax on the cost of the tickets and an additional $10 booking fee. All right, so let's take a look at that. So we have Tracy buys tickets to a concert for herself and 2 friends. Okay, so how many people are there total? So there's gonna be her and 2 more people will be 3 people, right? So 3 people total. That will probably come in here somewhere. Okay, so now we've got the amount of money, right? The cost of the tickets. So we have to have a variable for the cost of the tickets. So let's let, we could use t. T usually stands for time, but if we want the cost of the tickets, we can use t for this also. So we have the cost of the tickets. Okay, then we have plus, right? There's an 8% tax, so plus, and that would be 0.08 t. That gives us the tax. So both those together is the total cost, and a $10 booking fee. So all of this would represent the total cost of the tickets and the booking fee. And it says, well, how much is each person gonna pay? That's pretty much what we're looking for. How much is each person gonna pay? So if we take that and we divide it by 3, like this, we're gonna get the cost for each person, which is usually what they would be looking for. So now let's simplify this a little bit. I've got t plus 1.08t, I'm sorry, 0.08t, which is 1.08t. I'm thinking too far ahead. Plus 10, and then that's over 3. And I like my lines to be nice, so I'm gonna draw it with a ruler. Over 3. All right, so now if I divide both these guys by 3, 1.08 divided by 3 should be 0.36. And I'll just write an arrow here. So 0.36 t, and then plus 10/3. And this is an expression that I can use to figure out how much each person is going to owe based on the number of tickets that are purchased. Okay, so or the cost of the tickets, I'm sorry, the cost of the tickets was T. All right, our last one. Tickets to a high school basketball game cost $350 per student and $675 per adult. So there's two things going on here, students and adults, and I'll use S and A for this. So now an expression would be for the total cost, $350 per student, so 3.5, or you could put 3.50, it's up to you. S, that's all the money from the student tickets, plus 6.75A, that's all the money for the adult tickets, and now that represents the entire amount of money that they're going to collect from student and adult tickets for that expression. All right, so that does it for writing some expressions. Hope you like this. Like my video and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.